Right, so that keeps us moving to the reading side. So we'll start reading right now. What actually happens in reading? Once you finish your listening, once you transfer the answer, they take the reading listening question booklet back and they give you a reading question booklet with the passages you have to read. You keep the answer sheet with you because one side we have listening answer sheet, the other side you have reading answer sheet. In reading, you do not have any time for transferring the answer, so you need to find the answer from the passage, and better idea is to write it directly on the answer sheet, except in MCQs because there you have to circle and you just have to later on write only A, B or C. So no problem, that you can do on the question booklet as well. Now in reading we have 40 questions as I mentioned earlier. You have 3 passages and you need to score here, well for me at least there should be a score of 23. That makes it band 6. This should be the target to do it. 23 out of 3. So we have 1 to 13 questions. Passage 1 we have, passage 2 14 to mostly we have that 26, and then we have passage 3 that is 27 to 40. Now the level of difficulty will go higher and higher as you move, same like in listening as well. Listening first section easy and the last one, the toughest one, same here, that will be easier and then easy and then tougher. Make it like that would be tough, tougher, toughest. That's the easy thing, right? So you have 20 minutes for each. They do not give you 20 minutes, but we divide in 20 minutes each part. In any case, in any circumstances, you cannot give more than that. For me, when we practice here, it will be 17, 18 and 19. So we will save around 5-6 minutes here and then we will use it wisely somewhere else. Now the key part is, this is the reading comprehension. It's not reading for pleasure. It's not reading for killing the time. It is reading comprehension. You are reading something for a proper purpose. If you know the purpose, it will be a lot easier for you to find the answer as compared to just reading and getting yourself involved and jumbled up in the passages that mostly people do. You may have things which you never read. You may have things which you do not like and rarely, seldomly read. So the problem is this, that if you find something which you have read earlier, it will be a lot easier for you. Take for example, if you are doing BBA and you got something about the marketing or sales, you would find that passage very easy, you would score better. But if something came with the chemistry and you did your BA or BBA, then definitely it will be a Greek for you. The key is to keep this thing in the mind. In 17 minutes you need to attempt these 13 questions. Out of 13, if you do 10, it's still 17 minutes. If you only attempt 5, it's still 17 minutes. If you attempt 11, it's still 17 minutes. In any case, you cannot afford giving extra time, more time than 17 minutes to passage 1. So we do have the wristwatch. You can just start the timer over there as well. Once you see that 17 minutes done, even if you just attempt 4 questions, leave this passage, go to the next one. This is a simple principle. The time is the worst enemy for you in IELTS. Reading specifically, if you do not follow the time, then simply you would be in a big disaster. Next passage, 14 to 26 questions, same 18 minutes, and then 27 to 40 minutes, we have 90 minutes for that. The time we save from here, we mostly go for the wild guesses when we are done. When we are done with the passages, when around 54 minutes done, you realize that you attempt only 18 questions. You left 12 blank and 10 are shaky answers, right? So 12 you left blank, 10 are shaky answers. This we would let go as it is. This we would let go. Now out of 12 you find that there are MCQs as well, there are short answers as well, matching blah blah blah. This is the part we can go for the guesses. Matching we can go for the guesses, paraphrasing we can go for the guesses, heading placement we can go for the guesses. So this 5-6 minutes we save here, we go for the wild guesses here. Out of 12, if your 3 guesses are correct, you are definitely lucky. Definitely out of 12. Sometimes people mostly go for if we have the MCQs and one part 1 to 6, take for example. So what I recommend, go for A. How many we did? 6. Yeah, 6, right? You missed all 6, you have to go for the A. If you attempt 3 and they were B or C or D, again recommendation is for the next 3. This is the way of attempting, so that you can make most of this one what you have missed. Nobody, nobody, I'm sorry. Very rarely people score 9 out of 9 in reading. Very rarely. Mostly they score 8, 8.5, not 9 out of 9. As in listening, mostly people may score 9 over there. So you have to go for the guesses as well. Once you finish your reading comprehension, you find the answer, 60 minutes done. They take reading question booklet back and same time reading listening answer sheet or listening reading answer sheet back as well. Your test is done for these 2 skills. You are done with it. There is no problem. Now you are relaxed, 5-6 minutes gap you have, and then they go for the writing. We are discussing writing. See, listening is same for GT academic both. Speaking is nearly same for GT academic both. Reading and writing is entirely different for GT and academic. For migration and for academic purpose, we have entirely different. So you will have different reading if you are attempting academic IELTS, and if I am attempting GT IELTS, I will have different reading. So this you should keep in the mind, right? You are done with your reading, you just give everything back, you sit, relax, and then they give you the writing test. I'm discussing first the task 1. There are 2 tasks in writing. Writing. Now, 2 tasks we have in writing. Task 1, academic, I'm discussing right now. In this part, you have to write a report. You will be given a bar chart, graph, picture, map, data, statistic, and you have to write a report on that. You have to explain what that data is showing. You have to write 150 words at least, and you will be given 20 minutes for that. They do not give you 20 minutes, they give you all together 60 minutes, but we divide in a way that you have to spend 20 minutes on that, right? That's easy part. The same thing goes for task 1, GT, General Training IELTS. In this part, you will be given same 150 words you have to write, and you will have 20 minutes for that. 150 words you have to write here as well. At least, that I said at least, it should be 160, 170. 20 minutes, and in this part you will be given, you will be asked to write a letter, a complaint, an appreciation letter, a request, giving information, asking information, so on and so forth. So that's easy part. That's what we do every day in our life. This is comparatively difficult part because you are going for studies, so you would be asked things doing like this. So this is the difference in academic and GT. When it comes to task 2, which is heavier, nearly doubled up in the way of numbers and size as well, so that is again different but nearly the same when it comes for the writing. For GT people, mostly we have opinion giving, mostly opinion or solution, mostly. For academic, we have argumentative writing, agreement, disagreement, or sometimes you have to go for classifying things, sometimes you have to go for finding the solutions, sometimes you have to go for discussing things. Task 2, academic, 40 minutes and 250 words at least, again nearly 300 are recommended. And then it comes for task 2, GT, same thing, 250 words, and we have 40 minutes. Mostly we have in this opinion, in this we have mostly argumentative writing. The problem is this, the topics are given not very common. You would not be given write an essay on your country, write a place you like very much. These all will be very, very difficult. I mean, like, there may be a topic that that the COVID-19 has, that I'm just telling you from your own side, the COVID-19 has changed the world a lot. Now we have mostly our education on online. Do you think this online education will continue even if the COVID is done in coming 6 months? Do you think learning online will be same as it is now, or people will go to physical education only when it will be finished? Now, it's easy thinking that okay, I can write, but to convince someone writing this thing is not that easy. You need to have ideas for that. You need to have solid with evidence ideas for that. Otherwise, they will not be giving you marks for that. Same thing here. They would ask some opinion on something such as education in early age or education in slightly later age, like sending kids in age of 3 age, sending kids in age of 8 years. So what is better? So this part is easy. You have to put your opinion, you can write, because we talk a lot. When we talk a lot means that we are just putting our opinion over there, so that we can print, that we can black and white here. But here you need to have the proper ideas in your mind. We mostly recommend how to write. We will discuss this definitely. How to write a report, how to write a letter, how to write an essay, whether that is argumentative or opinion. We will discuss how many paragraphs needed, what are the bullet points, what are the intro words, what are the pet sentences we can use. Around 40 to 50 pet words we have, which we use whenever we write. So means that if you have to write here 250 and if I give you 60 words altogether, they are pet words. They are always in opening. They are mostly called the bullets. So they are always in opening of any paragraph. That means that you need to be looking for the solid ideas for only 210, 220 words. So that's a little easy. This part is easy. People mostly score. But the key is, only one key I'm telling you. We have the 5 keys here. And we have the 5 requirements as well here on what you are being marked. What I told you, 40 questions in listening, 40 questions in reading. It's easy to mark it. I mean, like 23 you score in reading, it's band 7, no problem. Sorry, band 6, no problem. 33 you score in listening, it's band 7, no problem. So it's easy. How they mark this one? We don't have any question here, only 1 and 2 questions. They have 5 different requirements on what they mark your writing. We will discuss earlier. There is only one key. Right now I'm telling you, is to understand the question. If you understand the question, you will score something. If you write 300 words, something you will score. If you do not understand the question, you misread, you misinterpreted, you'll get nothing. You cannot beat about the bush. This, that. You need to put the proper idea that can address the question or requirement or questions. Sometimes we have 2 questions as well in one question. So this is all about the writing. How to write, easy part, we can do it. All you have to do is just to write and send it to me or give it to me. I will check it. I will tell you the mistakes, whether they are grammatical mistakes, whether they are your idea mistakes, or if I don't like the ideas, if I like the ideas. So this is the easy part. That leads you to speaking, as I discussed earlier. Speaking may be earlier than your listening, reading, writing. Speaking may be same day on your listening, reading, writing. And speaking may be later than. They would let you know when they give you the appointment letter or examination card, decision paper. Now speaking, easy part again. I must say, people mostly speak, score a lot here. Speaking, it goes 11 to 15 minutes. You may finish it in 10 minutes as well, but as less your time is, as worse the score will be. Keep this in the mind. How it happens? 1-to-1. Always locals. No foreigner you will find over there. There used to be foreigners, but they all gone now. So we don't have any foreigner. Speaking 1-to-1, you and your examiner, you go inside the room, you knock the door, may I come in? Yes, please come, be comfortable. They make you comfortable, they give you time, you get relaxed, you can take water as well. Then they ask, you okay? Should we start now? You say yes. They just record everything. They put the recorder in front of you and they start talking to you. We have 3 parts here. 3 parts. Part 1 what will be if I get into the room? Simple introduction, right? Simple introduction. What's your name? What you do? Where do you live? Your hometown, your education, your job, your family. These are the things mostly discussed in part 1. Mostly. They are easy. Okay, so what do you like in your city? That's easy. 3-5 sentences and done. Well, I love my city. So many things are there. I love going out. I love the water. I love the parks. I love that the pace is slow. I love the people around. I mean, you can say whatever you want to, right? So that's easy part. Part 1, introduction sort of thing. And mostly we have here family, job, education, hometown, hobbies. 5 things. Out of 5, 1 or maximum 2 topics will be discussed with around 4 to 8 or maximum 10 questions. They are to the point questions. So you don't have any problem with it. That leads you part 2 becomes same. As you proceed, it will be difficult. In this part, you will be given a topic to speak on. You will be given a topic. This topic can be anything. It can be your school, an old building, a new building, a park, a water sport, your hobby, your family, person you like from your family, and so on, so forth. I'll give you around 30 topics and hope one of these will come in your test. Mostly it happens actually, because they do keep on repeating things. In this part, you'll be given 2 minutes to speak, you'll be given 1 minute to think, you'll be given a card, a cue card on which the topic is written and 2-3 points are written. Take for example, the topic is describe any book you like. Now the point here, who was the author? What do you like the most about that? No. Who was the author? What was the main idea of the book? What do you like most about it? 3 points already given. You will be given 1 minute to think so that you can take more points. Because if you need to speak 2 minutes, you need to have at least 7-8 points on that. Right? Now keep the card before you. They would ask you to speak. Okay, you can start now. They would let you know these things. So then you say, okay, the book I have read recently was the book Pakistan First, written by Pervez Musharraf. Well, the idea was simply the biography of Musharraf and what he did with the Pakistan, but there are so many other things interest me as well. The best thing I love in that book, and then you just continue, keep on saying whatever you have read, right? So this can be any topic. Once you finish this part, that leads you part 3. Part 3 is simply sort of discussion on the topic is given, not on what you have said. Take for example, the topic was describe a book you have read. So you spoke whatever you spoke, like I spoke on Pakistan First, okay? So I spoke, they would not be discussing what I said, they would be discussing on the book, type of books printed, how the readings are improving or decreasing in your city, okay? What is the difference book and digital library, and blah 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 blah. That will be two-way discussion. This takes part 1, that takes 2 to 3 minutes, part 2 3 to 4 minutes, and then this part that mostly takes 3 to 5 minutes. 6 questions mostly they ask, and these questions are difficult, and these questions are really difficult, because in this part the examiner has all the questions written before him, but in this part examiner has a little freedom that he can change, add or omit the question which are already given over there. Because when we discuss, sometimes you ask me one question, I answer that question, but answering that question I may be asking another question which was already in your mind, so that you don't ask that question because that question was answered. So same happens when you discuss, when you are on the question number 1 of part 3. He asked some question, you started answering, and by answering unknowingly you answered question number 2 as well. So he would leave this question and go to question number 3 and add one question from his own side. So this is the part. They do not try to make you confused or panic. They just quite cooperative, but they want to see how much you speak. You need to speak as much as you can. If you just go for to the point the answer, that will not give you marks. You have to speak. I'm not saying you have to be making mistakes, lots of mistakes in grammar and saying something else, being asked something else, but you need to speak. As much you speak over there, as better your score would be, even if you are making mistakes. Because communicating is important. I'm not saying you need to make mistakes over there, but communicating is important instead of being quiet over there. Or giving, what's your name? Hashmi. Where do you live? Karachi. Okay, what's your education? Graduation. Then they would give you, then you would finish your test somewhere here. 6 minutes after test khatam ho jayega, and then you would say, thank you very much. We'll see you again for sure. That is the thing. So this is all about the IELTS. When you finish your test, it takes around 10 to 14 days to get your result. The result comes at your home mostly, whatever the address you have been given. You can pick it from the AEO. If you are taking a test from AEO, you can pick it from there directly as well. You have to put the request earlier or whatever you want. So this is all about. I would appreciate if you have any questions, no matter that sounds how silly, but do ask, because asking would definitely clear things. Thank you so very much. That's all for today. Yeah.